Hi, what's up everyone? I'm super excited as the PlayStation 5 has been finally announced. On June 11th, during Sony's Future Gaming event, they finally took the wraps of PlayStation 5 and gave the world the first glimpse of PlayStation 5's design and the game's lineup. You may remember back in April when Sony teased us with the new DualSense controller and gave us clues on what the PlayStation may look like. And after a lot of rendered images and development kits, we now have the first look of what the PlayStation 5 looks like. And boy, it looks stunning and nothing like the leaked images. Sony plans to launch the console during holidays 2020, which will be likely between October and December 2020. Now that we know what it looks like and what the games are available at launch, let's examine the PlayStation 5 in a detailed manner. I'll be walking through the design, the variants, the controller, the performance, the games, and the expected price. First up, the design. The new console is a significant departure from Sony's previous consoles, which retained a standard black design aesthetic ever since the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 5 immediately stands out with its futuristic white and black design. The looks of the console are defined by a white rounded body that envelops a central glossy black middle section, like some sort of cover. The black middle section on the top emits a blue light, illuminating the white side panels as well as the ventilation grills. The design of the PlayStation 5 is unconventional and it has attracted a lot of funny and creative memes on the internet. I especially love the one where someone wrapped a white paper around the PlayStation 2. But if you ask me, I just love it and feel that this is the best looking console ever, edging out the PlayStation 3 piano black. The Xbox Series X, which sports a cube design, will probably blend in with all your other gadgets, but the PlayStation 5 will be a showpiece. It looks like a device from the future with a very clean design and would look awesome in our cabinet, which brings into question about its size. Sony hasn't revealed any dimensions. However, people have calculated the approximate size based on the disk drive and the USB port. And based on that, this console will be the tallest console by Sony ever. This might turn out to be a problem if you're planning to keep it horizontally inside your cabinet, which most of us actually do. Sony has not revealed any details about the number of input and output ports. But looking at the launch video stills, we can notice a USB Type-A port, which should be a USB 3.2 version, and a Type-C port on the front side. Also on the front, we can notice two buttons, which seem like a power button and a disk eject button on the model with the disk drive. Sony has also confirmed they'll have a completely redesigned new UI for the PlayStation 5. I like the current design as it's simple to navigate and hope that Sony maintains its uncomplicated navigation in the new UI. For the first time, Sony has launched not one but two variants of a PlayStation. The first variant comes with a disk drive and has an odd bulge in the bottom side in an otherwise perfect design. The disk drive is a 4K Blu-ray drive which will keep the multimedia enthusiasts happy and one that was missing from the PlayStation 4 Pro. The second variant is a digital edition without any disk drive. Removing the disk drive saves some space in the console and this helps to achieve a streamlined and symmetric design. Since the console does not have a disk drive, obviously, the games will have to be digitally downloaded. This could be problematic if you want to port your existing PlayStation 4 games, which we will discuss in detail in the games and backward compatibility section. Other than the missing drive, which will result in a lower price, both the consoles are of the same specs and features. Now let's look at the controller. With the PlayStation 5, Sony has moved away from the DualShock title. The new DualSense controller has definitely made a statement upon its arrival. It's colorful, bright, and very different to the PlayStation controllers from the previous generations. The dual-tone white and black scheme matches that of the PlayStation 5 console. I really love it and think this is one of the coolest looking controllers. The main feature of this new controller is the haptic engine integration. For people who are wondering what this is, it's a feature that already exists in most of the modern mobile phones, which gives us the impression that the touchscreen buttons are actually physical buttons. What this means for the DualSense controller is that when you drive through dirt, hold an item in the game, or even splash in water, the DualSense will be able to give the gamer an immersive experience through haptic feedback. I'm really excited to see what the developers are going to explore with this capability. On top, Sony has added an adaptive trigger feature, which adds resistance to the triggers based on the action. This will now let the gamers feel the tension of the bowstring, recoil of a gun, or even the stamina of a footballer, bringing the gaming experience to a whole new level. The DualSense has a built-in microphone and a speaker for in-game chats and also has a headphone jack for connecting third-party headphones. The new controller now features a Type-C USB charging port. This is great as it will allow for fast charging of the controller and can be used by any Type-C cable. The DualSense retains the touchpad from the DualShock 4 and the share button has been replaced by the create button. The blue LED bar has been reduced to a thin LED strip in line with the PlayStation 5 console design. Sony has also announced a host of accessories during the launch, which will include a brand new HD camera, a DualSense charging dock that magnetically charges the controllers, a multimedia remote to use your PlayStation as a multimedia device, and a Pulse 3D headset which will give you an immersive 3D sound experience. Now for the most important feature of the console, performance. The PlayStation 5 comes with an AMD custom RDNA 2 graphics chips that has a performance of 10.28 teraflops with 36 compute units at 2.23 GHz. Just to put in context, the top desktop graphic cards RTX 2080 has a teraflops rating of 10.1 and costs about $799. The Sony PS4 had a teraflops rating of 1.8 teraflops and the PS4 Pro had a teraflops rating of 4.2. Theoretically, the PlayStation 5 is about 6 times faster than the PlayStation 4 and 2.5 times faster than the PS4 Pro. The new GPU also supports ray tracing, which will enhance the lighting of the games to give a more realistic lighting and shadow rendering. The PlayStation 5 also comes with an AMD Zen 2 architecture 8-core CPU at 3.5 GHz and a 16GB GDDR6 RAM on board. The console also features AMD's Smart Shift technology, and they send any unused power from the CPU to the GPU so that it can squeeze out more pixels. All this relates to mind-blowing compute power and a native resolution of 4K at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second. The cherry on the top being the support for 8K resolution. The PlayStation 5 will come with an HDMI 2.1 port to support such high bandwidth of data being transmitted. For the PlayStation 5, Sony has ditched the mechanical hard drive. Instead opted for a custom SSD drive which has an insane read speed of 9000 megabytes per second. To put things into perspective, the PlayStation 4's hard disk drive had a read speed of around 54 megabytes per second, which means the PlayStation 5 drive is 180 times faster than the PlayStation 4. 180 times. Let that sink in. This results in faster gaming load speeds and almost instant boot of the game. Also, the textures will now load so much faster during gameplay, and you will now have photo-like replication of items as evidenced by the real Engine 5 demo. Sony has not revealed any details about the rear ports, but we can expect to have an HDMI 2.1 port and 2 USB Type-A ports along with an optical audio out channel. The PlayStation 5 will also feature a 3D audio chip which will now make sound appear to be coming from all around you, relative to where you are in the scene. This will provide cinema-like experience while playing games. Talking of games, Sony showcased some of the games that will launch alongside the console, and they look gorgeous. The initial lineup will contain some blockbuster titles like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Returnal, etc. All playable at a native 4K resolution. The game trailer shows some drop-dead visuals showcasing PS5's raw power and bridging the gap between games and reality. The Unreal Engine 5 trailer shows some of the true potential and capabilities of PlayStation 5, with photorealistic textures that instantaneously load and a true-to-life physics engine. It also showcases ray tracing in its full glory. The PlayStation 5 is said to be backwards compatible with the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles out of the box, given that the PlayStation 5 is based on PlayStation 4's architecture. So you should simply be able to pop in your PS4 disc into the PS5 and play immediately. Due to the enhanced capability of the hardware, we can now expect a boost mode for our old games similar to the boost mode found on PlayStation 4 Pro. This will improve the frame rate and textures for some of the older PlayStation 4 titles. The PlayStation 4 digital version, however, may not support the disc as obviously it does not have a disc drive. Now, whether you can play the digitally purchased games on a PlayStation 5 is to be seen. Finally, the price of the console. Sony plans to launch the PlayStation 5 during holidays 2020, but have not revealed any details on the price yet. Rumors say that the PlayStation 5 disc version will have a straight price of $499, which seems about right, and the digital version to have either $399 or $450 price tag. I don't see Sony dropping $100 just for a disc drive. To put things into perspective, a similar spec computer will set you back by at least $1,400. That's how powerful the console is. Sony usually sells the console at no profit or loss and generates the revenue through the incredible line of games. So, that's all the currently known details about the PlayStation 5. Please stay tuned for more updates. I'll come up with a review of the product as soon as it's launched. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and support us.